Live. Mr. Chair, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kelly. Thank you, everyone, for calling in. Like you say, we do have some business to take care of here. So, without further ado, we'll call the meeting to order. Is there any declarations of conflict of interest? Okay, hearing none. Can I get an approval of the agenda?
That requires motions.
I'll move.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Bobby. Adoption of the minutes, they were attached from Monday, March 2nd. Any business arising from those minutes?
No.
Okay.
Could you move the minutes to be adopted, Mr. Chair, please?
Oh, sorry. Do I have somebody to adopt the minutes from March 2nd?
Goes to the open
Sure.
minute, right? Yeah, I can second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so there's nothing under the open session. Can I have a motion to move into a closed session as per section 119? Yeah.
I'll move.
I'll
Thank
second.
you.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'd ask you
Thanks,
to
guys.
please stand by. We have to change over screens, please. And you're back in session, Mr. Chair. You have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kelly. So we're back in open session, and I think Richard has a couple updates for the committee.
Yep, so I'll give you an update on how the utility has been managing through the COVID-19 situation. So our initial measure was to divide all of our work crews into two separate teams. And if one team would work 1 week while the other was at home, separated from them. In the event that we did have people who became ill, we would always have a work crew that could come in to complete the work. So having done very well on PEI, we're now looking at how we can have everybody return to the workplace at the same time. We need to maintain distance between our employees, and what we're looking at there is staggered start time. We'd have one crew come in and start at 7:30 and the other at 8, and then they could go and separate, still maintain those two separate teams, so that if someone does become diagnosed with COVID-19, we wouldn't lose our entire workforce. So our biggest concern was that if one person became ill, and then that everybody that they worked with became ill, we would have no one left to provide water to the city or manage our wastewater. So that was a big challenge for us through this situation. And now we need to still ensure that the work crews are separated enough that if one person does become ill with COVID-19, that it's not going to mean that everybody has to go home in some way. We really need to be careful with ensuring that our employees work very much in separate areas so that our operations don't become compromised. And as of tomorrow, all of our capital projects are also able to start going again. There has been a pause on all of our capital projects. Our East Royalty Lagoon decommissioning project, that sewer lift station began operating at the end of last year and has operated very well. The new gravity main has operated well. There's still some reinstatement work that needs to be completed, and that will still waiting for them to have sod available, but they are out cleaning up the areas. By the end of May, they think they'll have sod that they can complete that reinstatement work. They're also going to soon start lowering the water in the East Royalty Lagoon. The water stayed in there over the winter, and now we're going to pump that to the wastewater treatment plant, and we'll remove the solids from the bottom of the lagoon and turn that into a green space. That project will start again in the very near future. Upgrades at the pollution control plant. There's some small things to finish up with the last contract. I've just received the contract documents for the next phase of that project. So we'll soon have that tender out, and the work at the pollution control plant for this year will soon be tendered, and then we can get that started as well. Doing the design work for our sewer lift station upgrades. We have the new well completed at Suffolk. We're just doing the final disinfection of that well before we can use it as a new water supply into the system. And our communications project, they struggled with installation through the winter, but the weather is much better now, so they'll be able to get that communications project underway. We do have some funding left from some other projects where we may be able to extend that communications network. So I'm looking at that opportunity with them. We still have some money left in our clean water and wastewater funded projects that are 75% funded. So there could be an opportunity to use that money so we can get a very cost competitive communications into those areas. That's what I have for you for our upgrade. So, I mean, the employees have been very good, still working hard. We're still managing things for our customers. It has been a challenge, and people certainly do want to move through COVID-19, but there's an understanding that this is going to be with us for some time.
Okay, thank you, Richard. That's great. Does anyone have any questions or comments on what Richard just gave in terms of updates?
No, thank you.
Thank you for all your work and all your staff's work.
Just, Mr. Chairman, just on the East Royalty Lagoon,
Yes.
we're going to drain the swamp, and that'll be sent to our pollution control plant. But do we know how much debris is in the base of that lagoon there, Mr. McEwen? I think there's 30 years.
Yes, so there's anywhere from a foot to 2 feet of material that we're going to dredge and put into geotubes to dry over the summer.
And do you haul that out by truck, or do you just?
So there's two options. One, we can take it out to agricultural fields, the same we do our other sludge, or we might be able to use some of it on site, or we may use it for cover at the East Royalty landfill.
And again, you're saying 2 to 4 feet of sludge is there?
1 to 2 feet across the lagoon area.
1 to 2 feet. Okay. And on the expansion to our plant and the work that's going on on the Hillsborough Bridge to connect the Stratford system to ours, our system's ready to accommodate when we turn on the switch.
Yeah, so we are ready now to receive flow from Stratford. So it's interesting when I looked at the flow that we're going to take from the East Royalty Lagoon as we lower that water. Flow rate that we're sending to the treatment plant is about the flow rate that we expect from Stratford. It will be a very good test for our system. Our system is now ready to accept flow from Stratford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Anything else, committee members, before we maybe look for a motion to adjourn? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, hearing no more comments, there's a motion on the floor to adjourn the meeting. Seconded by Councilor McCabe. Thank you. Thanks again, everyone. This worked well, and like I said, there is business to take care of. It's an essential service, and everyone's working hard. And no, it worked out. It worked out good.
Thank you.
Thank you.